So we'll be doing up this question, movement of robots, which is a part of biweekly contest 106. Right. Okay, let's read this question. So basically, I'll make you understand this. Okay, so there are this many robots, suppose an axis, right? And you have to move the robots based on this string in a unit distance, right? And you have this many seconds, right? And each second every robot will move with a command mentioned, the respective commands, right? Okay, so and also here they have mentioned it that if robots collide they'll start moving in opposite direction. Later you realize that this condition won't matter even if two robots collide and they start moving in opposite direction. This won't matter even if they would move in the direction mentioned and we don't change the directions, right? I'll give you an example, right? Okay, suppose two robots, A is at 0 and B is at let's suppose 2, right? And A is moving to the right side and B is moving to the left side, right? After 1 second they'll be at 1, right? They'll be at 1, and suppose there are 4 seconds. For 4 seconds they'll move, right? So if they change their directions, as mentioned in the question, and then start moving, then what will be the condition after 4 seconds is that A will change its direction and will move 3 steps in the left, right? So it will be around -1, -2 here, right? -2 A, right? And B would be around so this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3, right? So this is 4. B would be at 4, right? If they collided and changed directions, right? And let's see if they didn't collide and they would have moved as they were moving, right? So A was at 0 and B was at 2, right? So after 4 seconds they didn't collide and they move in their respective directions, right? So A was moving right and B was moving left, right? So move 4 in the right, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So A would be at 4 and this B would move 4 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So B would be here, right? If I draw the final picture, is B would be here and A would be here, right? And if they collided, the position is, it's just that robot B is here and here robot A is here, right? So the positions really won't matter, right? And if I say, okay, so if you will see the question here, you'll see that nums of I is unique, right? So here you'll get unique positions, right? Okay, so now you just have to make a, okay, so what you need to do is that you have nums of I, right? So we'll directly sum up the distance they'll move, right? Okay, so this, let's name this, right? So A would have moved to the right, which is +3, right? Because there are 3 seconds, right? Okay, B would move to the left, so -3, and C would also move to the left, so -3, right? After summing up, the vector would have been is 1 and -3 and -1, right? So if you draw the line, it will be somewhere this -3, -1, and 1, right? So let's name this robots, right? A, B, C. We have to find the distance between all the pairs of A, B, C, right? And for this we'll move everything with respect to 0. So if I move these robots with respect to 0, because we just have to calculate some of the distance between pairs, right? So moving the reference won't matter, right? So if I move A to 0 and with respect to that B would be at around somewhere 2, right? So because we are summing up 3 to every point, right? So C would be at 4, right? Now we have to calculate the distance on the pairs of these 3 robots, right? Okay, so we'll make a formula, right? Okay, suppose these are the robots, right? 0, 2, then here we'll take 3, then here you take 7, here you take 11, here you take 17, right? Okay, now what are we going to do is we'll calculate the differences between this, right? Okay, let's derive a formula, right? to calculate the sum of the distances between pairs. Else, if you do by the brute force approach, what you are going to do is that you need to use two for loops, right? So if I write the pseudo code, it'll be around something like I plus plus, then you have to use another for loop, right? J is equal to I plus 1, right? J is less than n, then j plus plus, right? And then you will get all the pairs, right? So this will be around order of n square solution, and we will be doing it with order of n log n, right? Order of n log n, because you are first going to sort this, right? You will first be sorting this array, right? That will take order of n log n, right? And after that you are going to shift it with reference point 0, right? So that will take order of n, right? The big thing is this order of n log n, right? Okay, so we need to optimize this for loops, right? That are taking order of n square, right? So let's derive a formula. Let's observe, right, what the sum of all the pairs coming, right? Okay, if I calculate the sum, if I calculate the distance in pairs, it'll be 2, right? If I calculate this distance, it would be around 2 plus 3 minus 2, right? Okay, which is 1. If I calculate the distance between A to D, it'll be around 2 plus 1 plus this 7 minus 3, which is 4, right? If I calculate the distance between E, it'll be around 2 plus 1 plus 4 plus 4, right? If I calculate this distance, it'll be around 2 plus 1 plus 4 plus 4 plus 6, right? Okay, so the next set of pairs would start from B, right? B to C. It would, now you'll notice something, so the distance between B to C would be 1, right? Now B to D would be 1 plus 4. Now B to E would be 1 plus 4 plus 4, right? B to F would be 1 plus 4 plus 4 plus 6. Now notice something, that this is repeating, right? This is repeating, this part is repeating. And in the next set of pairs, you'll notice that this will repeat, right? Okay, let's see. So the next set of pairs would start from C, right? C to D, right? It would be start from 4, then C to E, it will be 4 plus 4. Now C to F, it will be 4 plus 4 plus 6. Now I'll start from D, right? D to E. Now I'll notice that this part would repeat, right? So 4, D to F, 4 plus 6, the last pair left. So that'll start from E, that would just be, this will repeat, so it'll just be 6, right? Okay, so you're noticing that the parts are repeating, right? This is repeating, then this is repeating, this is repeating, this is repeating, and this is repeating, right? So first you have the sorted array, right? This sorted array, right? Now let's make a vector with the difference between this pairs, right? Consecutive pairs, right? Okay, now I'll tell you what we are going to do with that difference, right? So the difference would be 2, 1, 4, 4 and 6. 17 minus 11, 6. Now we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 robots, and hence we'll have 5 pairs of differences, right? Now you can see that we'll initialize to integers, right? With I is equal to, as you can see, this 2 is not repeating, right? 2 is just 5 times here, right? 2 is just 5 times. So what we are going to do is that we are going to initialize I with n minus 1, right? N is the number of robots, right? So here we have 6 robots, will initialize I with 5, right? And j with 1, right? Which is basically representing the number of times this code is repeated, right? This code is repeated. This part is repeated just 1 time, right? Right, okay. So for this part, okay, we'll use a for loop, right? How many loops would be there? 1 loop, 2 loop, 3 loop, 4, 5, right? So their loop would go for n minus 1 times, right? Right? I'm going to mod the answer because answer might be very large with this, right? Actually not with this, we have to mod it with this, right? Okay, so let's see. Yeah, okay, yeah, 9. Okay, so after this, now notice what the formula is coming, right? So you will have the difference of 0, which is we are using a for loop, right? So we can say z will go from 1 to n minus 1, right? And this is a z, which is this 2, right? And 2 is repeating ith times, right? This 5 times, okay. So after that, j, which is how many times it is repeating, right? And this is the sum, right? We'll calculate it in the answer, right? Answer plus this, right? And if you go to the second loop, it'll be around something difference of 1, which is 1, right? Now you'll do 1 into, after each loop you'll do I minus minus and j plus plus, right? So I would become 4 and j would become 2, right? So you'll notice that I is 1 is 4 times and it is repeated just 2 times, right? It is repeated just 2 times. So here we have j, right? So I into j, right? And so on the loop will go, right? And I have just written the logic here, right? Okay, yeah, okay. So okay, let's add this first, right? So this is a mod, right? And we have taken the final distances between them in the vector a, right? And we have sorted the vector, right? And we have referenced it with 0, right? We just have to, if this would have been like -3 -1 and 1, then we just need to sum every item in a with the 3, 3 and 3, basically -1 cross -3. You need to sum every part, right? So this would be 0, this would be 2, this would be 4, right? Now I've taken another vector b, which would be of size n-1, right? And you're just calculating the differences between consecutive pairs, right? After that, you've just taken this formula we discussed, right? And then I minus minus and j plus plus, right? So this would just work, right? Now just let's run this code, right? Okay, let's submit this, right? Yeah, so this got submitted, right? Okay, I've taken long here because the answer might be long, right? So to hold that, I've taken the long unsigned it, right? So this was everything. I hope that this observation was clear, right? It's just observation. The formula is based on the observation of this part, right? That this part is repeated here, this part is repeated here, and then this part is repeated here, this part is repeated here, right? You can formulate your own formula with this observation, right? So this was all, right? Okay.